It's funny how life takes unexpected turns. For over a decade, I poured my heart into songs that no one heard. Then one day, my music was out there, like a message in a bottle finally reaching someone. That rush sparked something in me, a reminder of what I loved about creating. I wasn't alone anymore. I had my old friend Sam by my side and a talented guitarist named Lucas, eager to make noise together. Every rehearsal felt like a step back in time, but with a fresh beat. We faced doubts, sure, but every chord we played brought me closer to realizing that what matters isn't just the music. It's the journey, the friendships, and the courage to be heard. This was our moment. So, about this new track, Slow Death. Are we sure we're not just writing the soundtrack to our inevitable burnout?
I thought that was the whole point. If we're going down, might as well make it sound like Gilmore's holding the door open.
It is, Luke. It's about the existential drag, the slow decline, but, with a killer solo. Yeah, Luke, the kind of solo that makes you think, wow, this really is the end, but at least it sounds awesome.
Slow Death. The song where you're not sure if you're tripping or just waiting for it all to be over. We'll sell it as the perfect soundtrack for contemplating your bad decisions.
Oh, I get it now. So halfway through, when I bring in that epic drum fill, it's like the heartbeat of doom.
Yeah, or the sound of Dave realizing he's still gotta pay rent this month. Thanks, Jack, but hey, that solo, it's gotta be like Gilmore met a black hole, right? Like it's pulling you in, slow, inevitable, and no escape.
Just like band practice.
And then, bam, we hit them with that final chord. It's like the universe just gave up and went home.
And there we are, left in the silence. Wondering why we didn't just write a pop song and call it a day. Because where's the fun in that? We're here for the long, slow burn, which are, the slow death.
And because none of us can hit those bubblegum pop harmonies.
So we're agreed, slow death. An ode to life's beautiful, agonizing descent into madness. And a killer solo to make it all worthwhile.
Days will count the mornings, seconds always hold me. Hesitation's warning, slow death is coming for me. Days will count the mornings, seconds always hold me. Hesitation's warning, slow death is coming for me. Coming for me. Slow death is 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 coming for me. Slow death. Start to realize the dark side of the moon. I never sees the sunrise. I got half a mind. Another minute to midnight. I fear in your eyes. I fear each paralyzed.
So imagine a bone, just a bone. Nothing inside, just hollow, like an empty shell. Sure, it's still a bone, but it's lacking that essential something that gives it substance, like eating the bread crust and tossing the filling. Now take that image and apply it to your brain. A thought without care is just like that hollow bone. Technically it exists, but it's missing the good stuff, the depth, the insight, the consideration that gives it real value.
Twist the fate, the conscious state of my mind.
other words, if you're not putting any care into your thoughts, you're just rattling around a bunch of empty ideas. And who wants that? After all, who needs shallow, half-baked thoughts floating around in their head? So next time you're tempted to let your mind wander aimlessly, remember, without that marrow of care, your thoughts are just hollow bones. Impressive on the outside, but not much going on.
Hey Dave,
inside.
hey John, I could hear you guys practicing tonight. The band is sounding really good. When is the live show?
Good to see you. Yeah, the jams are starting to sound good. Hopefully the live shows should be soon. I'll make sure to put you on the guest list.
Tell you what, make it a +1, and I'll bring a girlfriend.
A +1 it is. I should probably make it a +10 and just make you our promoter for the show. Don't you work in marketing or something like that?
Honestly, I just got fired. 10 years and they fired me on the spot. Thanks for the appreciation, you know?
So, it sounds like you have some time and I could really use some help. We've got a 3-hour live show, 80% original music with a rock, reggae, and jam sound. Good vibes, good jams.
And good times. Sounds like my kind of party. I'm in. You know what? I might also be able to book you a show if you ask nice.
This is me, asking nice. Please help us book a show. I can handle the music if you can handle the other stuff. Ton.
All right, Stonefellow. You've got yourself a promoter for the show. Under one condition. I'm not doing it for any money, though. Agreed?
Let's talk about the music industry. Once the dream factory, now a soulless machine that grinds out pennies for those of us keeping it alive. Remember when artists could actually make a living off their craft? Yeah, that's ancient history now. Streaming has turned our blood, sweat, and tears into fractions of a cent per play. It's a joke, no, it's an insult, that the very people who create the music, the lifeblood of this industry, are scraping by while the big wigs get fatter by the minute.
Royalties? More like charity handouts. We pour our souls into this art, and what do we get?
A couple of bucks after 1 million streams? It's absurd. The system is broken, and it's high time the royalties reflect the value of the music we create, because without the artists, there is no industry, no streaming platforms, no playlists. We deserve more than just crumbs from the table. We deserve our fair share, plain and simple.
Let me tell you, there's something real about being a live band that you just don't get from chasing streams. Sure, streaming might be convenient, but it's a numbers game that leaves most of us with empty pockets. Playing live? That's where the magic happens. You feel the energy of the crowd, the instant feedback, and the raw connection with the audience. It's priceless. Plus, you're not just a file on someone's playlist. You're a living, breathing part of their experience.
And let's be honest, live shows pay the bills in a way streaming never will. Merch sales, ticket revenue, and the sheer joy of performing, it all adds up. It's not just about the money, though. It's about staying true to what music is really about. Connecting, performing, and bringing people together. So yeah, forget relying on streams. Being a live band is where the real value is.
Man, being on the road is something else. Every city's got its own vibe, its own energy, and it seeps into you whether you realize it or not. We're out there playing in these amazing theaters, places with real history, to a couple thousand fans who actually get what we're about. It's like each show breathes new life into the music. We feed off the crowd, the lights, the sound of that place, and it all just comes together.
Every night's different. 1 minute you're soaking in the neon glow of a city that never sleeps. The next you're in a town where the stars feel close enough to touch. All that experience, all that emotion, it spills into the new music. You start writing with that heartbeat of the road in your veins, and suddenly the songs have this depth and diversity you couldn't get sitting at home. It's like the road shapes you, and you start hearing things differently, feeling things more intensely.
In rock and roll, there's never a dull moment. No chance for it, really. 1 minute, you're riding high on the energy of a packed crowd, feeling invincible as you shred through a solo. And the next, you're dealing with a broken string in the middle of the set, or dodging a flying beer can from a rowdy fan. It's all part of the gig. The unpredictability, the chaos, that's what makes it alive. You never know what's coming next, but that's the beauty of it. Whether it's the adrenaline of a killer performance, the madness of life on the road, or the creative storm in the studio, rock and roll keeps you on your toes. It's a roller coaster of highs and lows, but that's what makes it so damn addictive. You're always chasing that next rush, that next moment of magic, and there's nothing else like it. All in on the whole aliens from outer space thing. I mean, with the size of the universe, it'd be crazy to think we're the only ones out here, right? But what really blows my mind is how no one ever talks about the truly awesome possibilities. Like what kind of stereo system a UFO could have. Everyone's obsessed with whether they're friendly or not, what they look like, or if they've been secretly hanging out with the government. But think about it. If these beings are cruising across galaxies, they've got to have the most insane sound system imaginable. I'm talking speakers that make your bones vibrate, perfect acoustics that could turn any tune into a transcendent experience. They probably have sounds we can't even comprehend, music that would blow our minds, literally. But nope, all anyone wants to talk about is crop circles and abductions. Meanwhile, I'm over here just wishing I could hitch a ride on a UFO to check out their playlist. I mean, seriously, think about listening to Dark Side of the Moon through speakers from another kind.
Light it up, smoke a bowl, in a motherfucking UFO.
If machines have next-level warp core technology, just imagine the kind of communication tech they must be using. Seriously, think about it. If they're mastering interstellar travel, the speakers they're rocking must be out of this world. And don't even get me started on the headphones. We're talking about sound so crisp and immersive. It's like the music is embedded directly into your consciousness.
These devices would likely blur the lines between audio and reality, transforming simple sounds into full sensory experiences. The bass might not just thump in your ears. It could resonate through your entire body, syncing with your heartbeat, while the treble sparkles in your mind's eye like stardust. It's the kind of tech that could make you feel like you're standing front row at a concert in another galaxy, all without leaving your chair.
If I wasn't playing music, that's easy. Intergalactic cannabis dealer. Man, sometimes it feels like I'm just drifting, you know? Like I'm standing in the middle of this vast open road with no signs, no directions, just endless possibilities stretching out in every direction. And sure, that sounds romantic in theory. Freedom, the open road, all that jazz. But when you're a musician, it's different. Every note you play, every lyric you write, it's supposed to mean something. But what if you don't even know where you're headed?
What if you're just throwing darts at a map, hoping one of them sticks to some version of a destination?
It's like being in the middle of a jam session that's lost its groove. You're playing your heart out, but the melody keeps slipping through your fingers. You wonder if all the hours, the sacrifices, the sleepless nights are leading somewhere, or if you're just caught in some endless loop. Everyone expects you to have a vision, a plan. But what if all you've got is a gut feeling? A vague sense that you're chasing something you can't quite define. It's maddening, man.
Flying machine. No more dependence on gasoline. Renewable energy. Transistor inverters. Things got a warp toward drive. The volume dials to 10 and one further.
Alright, Stonefellow, I've got to hand it to you. When I heard demo, I was bracing myself for some basement recorded, auto-tune disaster, but damn, you actually have something here. The tunes? Solid. The production? Crisp. And that live show footage? I'm not even mad that it looked like it was shot on a potato because you absolutely killed it on stage. I mean, who knew a guy with your, let's call it unique style could get a crowd that hyped? I'm impressed. I haven't seen a reaction like that since I accidentally took my kid to a Slipknot concert. concert. Anyway, let's cut the small talk. I want to sit down and figure out how we take this thing from, hey, that's pretty good to holy hell. Why aren't we headlining yet? What do you say? You free for a coffee, or knowing you, probably some herbal tea, right?
What's good, Stonefellow?
Not much, just killing some time before band practice.
No, but it should have been here by now according to the tracking number. It's weird.
For real, it's been weeks. I thought I gave myself plenty of time for this shit. What needs to happen next? I really need that package for the upcoming show. So here's the deal. I don't really need that package for the live gig, but I did snag a t-shirt, and I'm totally planning to give it to John as a joke. But it's been weeks since I ordered it, and no one knows where it is.
Let me dig into this and see if I can track it down for you. I've got your phone number. I'll let you know what I know when I know it.
Okay, see what you can do. The show is in 2 weeks. Have you ever heard the phrase, "That's a Roger Houston"? It's old school, from the days when radio waves ruled the air and every word carried weight. It means message received, like a signal cutting through the static, loud and clear. I've been thinking about that lately, about how we connect with people or don't. It's funny, in a world full of noise, sometimes all you need is someone who hears you, who really hears you. No questions, no second guesses, just pure understanding. That's what we're all chasing, isn't it? That moment when you say something and the other person's right there with you, nodding along. It's rare though. We're so busy shouting over each other that we forget to listen. But when you do find it, that connection where every word clicks into place, it's like magic. It's like you've been speaking a different language your whole life, and suddenly, someone understands it perfectly. That's a Roger Houston. Message received loud and clear, and in a world full of noise, that's everything. Have you ever felt that empty, hollow space inside you, like a void that just won't fill? It's this deep, gnawing feeling of longing that seems to stretch on forever. You know the one. It's not about missing a person or a place. It's more abstract than that. It's an ache for something you can't quite define, a whisper of something you've never had but always wanted. You chase after it, try to pin it down, but it's like trying to catch smoke with your bare hands. The more you reach for it, the more elusive it becomes. It's not that you don't have things in your life that matter. It's just that this longing overshadows everything, a constant reminder of what's missing. Sometimes you're surrounded by people, by noise, by activity, and yet that emptiness is there, lurking beneath the surface. It's a feeling of disconnection, like you're walking through life with a veil between you and everything else. The laughter, the conversations, they all seem distant, as if they're happening in another world, and you're left on the outside, looking in. And then there are moments when it hits you hard, and you realize that it's not just about wanting something else. It's about wanting to be truly, deeply connected to something, to someone, to yourself. It's about that search for meaning that never quite ends, because as soon as you think you found it, it shifts and changes shape. The empty feeling of longing is both a curse and a gift. It drives you to keep searching, to keep striving, to keep hoping. It reminds you that you're alive, that you're still reaching for something, even if you don't always know what it is. And maybe, just maybe, it's in that endless search, in that constant yearning, that you find a piece of what you've been looking for all along.
I know new bands are a dime a dozen, sir, but this one is really doing something different. They're not just following trends, they're redefining them. Their sound is fresh and innovative, blending genres in a way that feels both unique and authentic. Tell you what, I'll put you on the guest list for the next show. It's gonna be a night to remember, and I want you to be there to experience it firsthand. You'll get a front row seat to see what makes this band so special, and maybe even get a chance to meet them afterward. It's the least I can do for someone who appreciates good music.
What, do you not have a phone? Or did you forget how to use it? Seriously, Stonefellow, I thought we were trying to put together the greatest band since Zeppelin, not playing high signal next time. Anyway, I've been juggling more things than a circus clown over here trying to find the time to meet. I need to know if you're in, or if you've decided to run off and become a monk. Call me back.
I got an empty feeling of longing. Is your communicator on? I got an empty feeling of longing. Is your communicator?
Oh, and now you're cloning my voice? Fantastic idea. Maybe then I can have one of me sweet-talking the venues while the other me keeps reminding you to pick up the damn phone. But let's be honest, even if you had 10 of me, you'd probably still manage to ignore all of us. I come in peace.